My name is Tari Tekena. I was born on the 25th of September 1971 in the city of Lagos. I attended Surulere Baptist Primary School. From there, I proceeded to the Government College Lagos, GCL Lagos. I had a brief stint at the Lagos State University before I came to the Rivers State University of Science and Technology, where I obtained my first degree in land surveying. I then had my master's degree at the University of Calabar in management. I also went an alumni of Lagos Business School, where I did strategic planning under uncertainty. I went to Massachusetts Institute of Technology, School of Business, where I did project management in Boston, Massachusetts, United States. And I am presently on the board of 2 or 3 small companies that are trying to create a niche for themselves. I am the MD of ED&T Limited, an indigenous oil and gas servicing company. I am married to my lovely wife, Mrs. Mebaka Asimeta Monopri near Lalibo, and we have 3 lovely kids, a boy and 2 girls. That's my story. ED&T Limited was formed on the 19th of March 2003, and the acronym ED&T stands for my 2 elder brothers' first name, their initial, the first letter of their names, and my name. And we saw that there was a lacuna in the way businesses in the oil and gas sector, service sector, is being handled and provided. So we decided to dive into that sector to create a model that is different from the usual. We wanted to do something different wanted to provide service to the IOCs, different from what was a normal. And I think so far, I wouldn't use the word that we've done excellently well, but I will say we are not where we used to be. And so we've moved quite a distance, but we still have a long way to go. That's why in ED&T we believe in training and retraining. We take training for it's one of the focus of this business, and our desire to be a global player has made us to engage with a lot of multinationals in Europe and the Americas. Well, we provide services that are specifically tailored to client needs, and to client requirements and the project at hand, because every project has its own peculiarity. So the innovation you use for project A will be different from the innovation you apply for project B. So at the inception of this organization, our decision is to make a clear difference, like I said earlier on, and we wanted to do things differently from what other services companies do. The normal do contracts, make money. So the target, our aim was not just to make money. We had a different approach to everything. Like, for instance, now we just concluded a project somewhere in the Niger Delta, and what we did there, we implemented a model we've been toying with for years. And that model is, look, we need to give our clients what they're not used to. We need to tell them, we need to go beyond the normal. You know what I mean, beyond the normal? We need to tell them, look, if you don't do this, what we do will be temporal. But if you do this, what we do will last you for X number of period of time. You know, the normal business in Nigeria will concentrate in what is given to them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Irrespective of the outcome. You asked us to do this, we've done this. But now we've created a model where we advise our clients that, look, you don't jump to C when you've not done A. A needs to be done. And we can give you our own professional advice for free, that this is what you need to, even if you don't want to give it to us, for the sake of sustainability and to the sake of building a better relationship with the clients in future. And that is what is lacking. Integrity is lacking in our business in this country. Everybody is just money conscious. But ours is not all about money. We're focused on how we do things, not just what we can make out of it. The world is a global village, and our collaboration remains the bedrock of this company. Certainly our drive for international collaboration is strategic. You know, in that Nigeria, whether we like it or not, Nigeria still has a long way to go. We don't have, we have plenty of raw materials, but we don't have the finished products. And most times, if you don't collaborate with international companies, the IOCs will not even deal with you because they need the expertise, they need the technical know-how of these companies. But we thank God for the Local Content Act of 2010 that made it mandatory for multinationals to partner with local companies that can add value to their service. And and based on that, based on the Local Content Act, we've had a lot of companies that come through us to do business in Nigeria, so we serve as their local content. You can't excel in the oil and gas industry in Nigeria without having a QHSE policy. You know, in view of this, it has driven us to pursue our ISO certification. We are presently in the process of obtaining through a very, very well-known consultant in the ISO certification industry to pursue our ISO 9001-2015. And and by December, by the close of this year, we should be fully ISO certified. And in 2020, we are also going to pursue ISO 45001. We're going to pursue ISO 14001 and a whole other systematic approach to HSE. Well, our vision gives us focus, and our mission enables us to know how to realize our vision. Sometime in 2010, we had a contract from a multinational to fabricate 20,000 tons of steel. That's huge. And being that the delivery point is in the Delta region, that's in the Warri axis. So it was only convenient for us at that time to get a facility, because doing the fabrication in Port Harcourt will cost us, would eat so deep into our profit margin. And getting a fabrication yard would save us, let's say, I'm not exaggerating, we save us up to 45 to 50% of costs if we did it from here. So it took us like 3 years to conclude that contract. And at that time, the facility we had was to produce 20,000 tons of to fabricate 20,000 tons of steel. And after then, we've had other subcontracts. And as at this year, we've increased the size of fabrication to it can take up to 200,000 tons of fabrication. It's with the innovation of telecommunication, with the advent of mobile communication and internet. It is easy to network all your branches, all your yards by means of communication via phone and via internet. And we also have a yard manager that is stationed there, and so we are in touch, and we're on with them real time online. With communication, Skype, you can view them via Skype, you can view them via CCTV, because of internet. If they have internet assets, we have internet assets, so we can view them, and we communicate with them every day. Every morning we have what we call project meetings. So we do it vertically on Skype. That's why we don't joke with our internet connectivity. Yes, that's why I said we've increased our capacity to 200,000 tons from 20,000 tons. ED&T is 100% indigenous. And even though we leverage on our global partners for effective management of projects here in Nigeria, when you consider the fact that the government has initiated this Local Content Act, it gives ED&T an edge being 100% indigenous companies, for when we are like the beautiful bride. When foreign companies are looking for local content, and we're not trying to be braggadocious, but at least we have the technical know-how, we have the ability to perform, and we've proven our capacity and our ability times and times over. Attention to details and competent workforce. Design requires a lot of attention to details. We outperform in that. We are also not afraid to invest in our personnel. So the pool of competent manpower is available to us. We even surprise our competitors and our clients alike. Again, our strategic international partners that are global brands in design have made things even better for us as they trust us and provide unalloyed project delivery support. Well, we learn from the pitfalls and success of others ahead has given us huge heads up. We have a model developed to ensure investment while maintaining consistent improvement. Certain assumptions have been considered, most of which are worst and best case scenarios. And in developing this model, God being on our side, we are sure to rewrite our many stories. Well, if we have a robust environmental policy imbibed in our HSE, so based on that, we have policies that will make us know how to deal with the environment we work in, how to safeguard the environment, how not to pollute the environment, and a lot of other things. Yeah. We're an EPC company, so it is mandatory for us to have basic equipment in construction and fabrication. So we have a well-equipped fabrication yard in Warri, at the Dewo Industrial Estate. well equipped. We have all the fabrication, not all, we have what is needed to fabricate anything that is needed to be fabricated in the oil and gas sector. And for the construction, we have some earth moving equipment, and those that we don't have readily available, we outsource. Indirectly, let me use the word indirectly, because we try our best possible not just to employ people for the need of employment. We employ on a need basis, but there are some people that are readily on standby, that whenever we have a need for them, they are there. So we have, at the moment, we have 20 line engineers. We're into partnership with a company called Ecometer Drilling. And so within 48 hours of making a demand, if we have a project, we're sure of having a minimum of 10 engineers flying in from South Africa into Nigeria at any time T. So it saves us a lot of overheads, because if you have these line engineers, they're not cheap to come by. If you have these line engineers on your payroll, month in, month out, it will really run the company down. Yeah, the feed, that's the front end engineering design. It all depends on client specification, client needs. In most cases, the client might tell you, we'll provide you with the design. In other cases, they'll tell you, okay, we want you to do everything, want you to do the design, want you to do the... And we're in partnership with NETCO. That's the arm of NNPC that does feasibility studies, frontline engineering reports and everything. And, so when we have larger projects that require the competence of a corporation like NNPC, maybe we're doing international bidding, they come in. So it all depends on client needs. They're definitely challenged. There are challenges that are not peculiar to us as ED&T as a company alone. I think it's a problem in Nigeria. Like I was discussing with some people yesterday, and I said our greatest problem in this country are the IOCs. Why do I say so? Like, for instance, you're bidding for a job, and the IOC says, we're ready to spend, our budget is $1 on this job. And you know very well that, professionally speaking, $1 cannot do this job. That this job can be done with $10. But they tell you, no, our budget is $1. And you see contractors costing 50 cents. you understand? And when they go on site, they can't start. So you have, like, let's look at the KPMG global survey for 2015. They have a global survey for 2018. The global survey for 2015 tries to look at areas like projects not being completed, proper costing of projects and everything. That's why it states that only 15% of projects are being completed. Because of wrong budget system. But in ED&T we try to put professionalism before commercials. And I give you a case in hand. We are supposed to have been on site for a revive project, electrical revive project in Delta States, one gas plant, and we gave them our budget, and they said, look, our budget is this. We said, okay, we are professionals. We are telling you that this cannot be done because based on this and this. Oh, the company gave us less than 40% of this quote. And guess what they gave the company? They've come back to us. So that means they're spending twice their budget, because of proper engineering budgeting, and because these people that they give budgeting responsibilities don't have any engineering or project background. Our recommendation to companies is that employ people for budgeting that have background in project management, that knows how to manage, that they know how to manage specific projects. not to give me a budget for something I know I'm a professional in, and you're telling me you can do it for X amount. I'm saying it's not going to be possible. There are sometimes the money that they give for a specific, they cannot even cater for the mob to mobilize your equipment to site. So by the time you mobilize your equipment to site, you're there, you're saying, okay, you've signed me on, so I need variation. So, and at times that variation takes another 2 years. And we should realize something, that the government too has a part to play. Cash calls have not been paid in years. And so these IOCs are basically scratching from one end to another. So they're trying to cut costs, to the best of their ability. And you see, when you say the lowest bidder, in engineering, lowest bidder does not work. You need to look at things like strength of material. What materials are you going to use to achieve your goal? What kind of materials are you going to use? What methodologies are you applying? Are you applying new technologies? The equipments are different, different equipments for different purposes. The equipment you use for integrity, pipeline integrity test in 2010 is different from what you use for pipeline integrity in 2018. Technology, designs have changed, price have changed. So you cannot give me a quote, a feasibility you did for 2010 for 2019. It doesn't work that way. So there need to be a proper overhaul of the price mechanism in the oil and gas sector. No, the substandard job is caused by the incompetence of the contractor. That's the truth. Because you find out that, let's take, I don't want to mention names. I don't want to mention names. Let's take some interventionist agencies that we have, and if you look at their profit margin, it's extremely wonderful. But if you give a contractor a job of 1 million that he can do for 100,000, believe me, you will still give you a substandard job. Because when you put money before before professionalism, you always have that as a problem. But when you put professionalism first, you will not have a problem of saying you cannot meet up on your obligations, on your overhead and everything. So professionalism should be something we should pursue. You as media people, these are things you should be hammering on the government, on these people in authority, that look, you need to put professionalism first for us to get good quality projects. In as much as I don't want to mention names, but like I said, for we in ED&T, we don't give our staff a minimum duration that if we employ you must stay X number of years with us. No. Our belief is train as much people as you can, so wherever they go, they can give qualitative service to the society. That's why we hammer heavily on training and retraining. We spend quite a lot on training, and we have a staff at present that we are helping to look for employment outside the country. If that's where you want to go, and you also train other people to teach other people what you've learned. That's our thing, to impacting to society, giving back to society what society has given to us. Yes, we do HR training, we do safety training, we do audit, we do business management, new technique in engineering management. We do, I just got a mail this morning from our partners at Comita that we should send 2 people to South Africa for a 2 weeks training. And we do this regularly. We have staff at the moment that are in Dubai on training. We have staff that are going on training next week in Lagos. So it's one of our major key points. being the best. Well, without teamwork, you can't achieve anything. Because, like for me, I'm the MD of this company. I cannot be in the field at the same time. If you don't form synergy, there's no way your project can move. ED&T is built on two pillars: integrity and service delivery. And we need to be innovative in these two areas. Integrity, you need to be innovative on how you want to achieve integrity. You need to be innovative on how you want to please your clientele, because we're not the only one in this industry, but what gives us the niche is simple. Our prices are competitive and our services are top notch. The insecurity in Niger Delta is over-exaggerated. That's the truth, it's over-exaggerated. And I think it's a deliberate attempt by some segment of the country to take businesses away from here to them. It might be for developmental purposes, maybe for tax purposes, and I think it's for developmental purposes. And so we need to be proactive here. We need to be able to and learn how to sell Niger Delta. Because Niger Delta has a lot of potentials, but the laborers are few. So we need to sell Niger Delta. We need to go out there and tell people that, look, Niger Delta is safe. Like a lot of people ask me when I travel abroad, you live in Port Harcourt, where Port Harcourt is not safe. I say, but I've not been kidnapped. Yes, there is no environment or area that does not have criminality. There's crime everywhere. So Port Harcourt or Niger Delta is not an exception. But I think it's been over-exaggerated what is the happening. So if you go outside and if you hear people talk about Niger Delta, you say, wow, but I live there. See, let me tell you something then. If the Niger Delta is as bad as it is, has been reported, you could see some pockets of white people here and there, some working with security, some not working with security, and so it shows you that what is being reported outside is not what it is, what is obtainable here. Sincerely speaking, Niger Delta is not 100% safe like every other place. People are running to Lagos. They're kidnapping Lagos. But what does the government do? They suppress it. But here we kill ourselves. When they kidnap one person, we shout they kidnap 10 people. They kidnap in Lagos, they kidnap in Abuja. But it's all about perception. Perception. For me, I'm a proud Niger Delta, proudly Niger Delta, and I will promote Niger Delta. Quietly, we're doing our own share. We're giving back to the society, and I don't like us talking about it, but for record purposes, and I would say we have 17 people that were paying their school fees in university level, first degree level, undergraduate level, on scholarships. Yes, just sometime this month. About 3 months ago, we gave how many systems out? 4, right? We gave 4 systems to a nursery and primary school in Eagle Island, and we plan to, on a monthly basis, we plan to do something for the home of the elderly and for the motherless babies home from January 2020, God willing. will be in the New York Stock Exchange. Oh, that my God leave it. That's what I know for sure. Surely there is an end, but the expectation of the righteous shall not be cut short. That's why I say, my God leave it. So far God lives, my expectations shall not be cut short. So far God lives, ED&T will be in the New York Stock Exchange within 5 years. Not in 5 years, within 5 years from now.